Well, it's become a move of many. The vast majority of people looking at reviews online before making a purchase or a decision. And it may seem pragmatic, but maybe not. University of Alberta health law professor Tim Caulfield joins us with more on online reviews this morning. So, Tim, why should we be skeptical of these reviews on the internet?
First of all, Kent, reviews have a massive impact on consumers and our economy. Like trillions of dollars are probably influenced by online reviews because everyone checks them. Some studies say as many as 90% of consumers won't buy anything without checking reviews. Some put a little bit lower. There's another study that found that 88% of people trust online reviews more than personal recommendations from friends and family. So online reviews, massive impact. You know the answer here. A huge number of them are manipulated, and a huge number are fake, are outright fake, or even the ones that are authentic, so written by a real customer, are manipulated by all the cognitive biases that impact all of us. You write a review if you hate it or if you love it. There was a really interesting study, big study, that found that reviews that are written when it's raining outside are worse than reviews that are written when it's sunny. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why they're just not reliable. But despite that, we all use them.
It seems that way, even if people may think, I've actually never written a review, so do I trust anyone who has, whether they're real or not? Do we know why people still go to that star rating system or look at the first couple of good reviews just to make sure, even though we are skeptical of the whole system?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fascinated by this. When I've written on this for both a book and some articles, and I've talked to experts. So people have spent their, researchers who've spent their entire career studying online reviews. They know they're fake. They know they're manipulated. And Kent, they still use them because the pull is so great. The pull is just so great. I think they're kind of perceived as being authentic. They're often stories, and stories always have an impact on us. And also, I think probably the biggest reason, they're just so convenient. The world is so chaotic. Our information environment is just so messy and loud. Here's this, these 5 stars that we can turn to. And by the way, research also tells us they don't predict the quality of the product. It's hard to do that for everything, but studies have shown that online reviews are not strongly correlated with actual objective quality. And that's, by the way, that's also true with healthcare and professionals generally. So yeah, they can do real harm.
Now let's talk about that, because in one way, if you're online shopping for a simple product, an online review can only hurt you so much. But there are people who use this to judge medical professionals or medical treatments too, right?
That's right. And this is actually an area where our team we've done some research on this. There was a study, very recent study that came out in the United States that found that 75% of people won't go to a doctor unless they have good online reviews. There is no correlation between online reviews and quality care or healthcare outcome. And in fact, online reviews can hurt the healthcare system because it kind of incentivizes focusing on superficial things. That's where we're going to put our resources, our money, as opposed to putting it into things that will really make a difference. And of course, physicians hate them because it it messes with their head and their patient interactions. So yeah, no relationship between outcomes and the reviews.
Now, maybe this is the answer that we've been circling this whole time. And really quickly before you go, what do we do instead?
Well, yeah, it is very hard. So look, first of all, you cannot see the fake reviews. You can't pull the quality out. Studies say that you should go to, reviewers that you trust. So, Consumer Reports and things like that, more likely to have be accurate. Same in the context of healthcare providers, where you actually talk to other healthcare providers, and you can go totally old school. Talk to friends and family who have experienced these things or tried them. But the expert reviews, expert opinions seem to be more reliable than online reviews.
We always appreciate your advice, Tim. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Tim Caulfield is the author of several books, most recently The Certainty Illusion.